welcome to Help Desk with Joe, and this is show number 75. So I like it. We're hitting some milestones here. At least it seems like a milestone to me. And Help Desk with Joe, as always, helping out the general consumer, businesses, both local here in Spencer, West Virginia, regional, and of course up and down the East Coast. So Joe, you and Cena stay pretty busy with your A&M Digital Technologies business. And as always, you power all the patch stuff, including this show. And we're here in our studio in Spencer, West Virginia, and show 75.
We're back for another week.
Yeah, we have Justin joining us as always, and Justin's coming off a late work evening, but he's here bright and early this morning.
Yep. Yeah, it's cool to be here for show 75. It does seem like a cool milestone.
Yeah, milestone. Isn't that crazy? 75.
It doesn't.
We plowed right through COVID doing the remote and virtual shows,
which the way things are going, we may have to go back to, but hope not.
Why you gotta lay that on our doorstep, man?
First thing, wow, Jim.
That's what you're gonna come
out
with.
I'm trying to jump on your guys' soapboxes before you get me on my soapbox.
Oh boy. You know how it is. You know how we feel about that, Joe.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's entertaining when Joe gets on his soapbox, but it's no fun when nobody else does.
I'm glad you understand the rules. Okay, well, we have, as always, you bring in 3 technology news updates for people that they need to know about, either helping them or protecting them with their technology, or just general information that people should be aware of. And today we're going to start off with the ever-popular Tick-Tock.
Yes, so actually I have some good news involving Tick-Tock. So,
and I'll state this up front, I am not a Tick-Tock user at all.
Well, I was a user, not a creator, but I literally found myself going in this rabbit hole way too many times of just like literally wasting.
Are you a creator at all now?
No, not on TikTok.
Okay, I didn't know. The way you said that, I didn't know if maybe your turn was to being a creator. I don't understand how it works, so.
Well, it's about like YouTube, it's just a minute long instead of this.
So everything has to be a minute long.
Yeah, but they recently changed it where depending on what you're doing, you can up it to 3 minutes, but still it's just kind of short. And I found myself on it way too much because one, I found it rather entertaining, and 2, my short attention span, that is just a bad mixture. So I removed TikTok. But if you are a parent that has children or teens using TikTok, we have some good news. So TikTok is adding privacy updates for teens, including limits on notifications.
Really?
Yes.
What's that mean?
So TikTok is rolling out updates aimed at its teen users, including options such as choosing who can view videos and limits on when younger users can get notifications. So in a blog post last Thursday,
Hold on. So my question is like the notifications. What's that mean? Because you said it's like YouTube. Because I know in like YouTube, I am a avid user of YouTube, and I'm an expert now in many different fields. Just from watching YouTube videos.
Yeah, you're one video away from being a brain surgeon, right?
Yeah, well, maybe 2 on that one. But
it's a 2-parter.
But I will say this: I am amazed at how much stuff you can figure out by watching YouTube. There are do-it-yourself videos out the wazoo.
Yes.
You know, like I work on our cars and stuff like that, and I always go to YouTube first.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I need to change brakes. Let me just see if there's any curveballs in the brakes. Or what, just it's amazing.
Yeah. Gives you a heads up of saying, okay, is this really worth me trying to do it, or do I need to have somebody who knows what they're doing?
Do I need special tools?
Right.
That's always the ringer.
Right.
But so with YouTube, you get notifications, kind of like little alarms that say, okay, this person commented on your video, or whatever.
Right.
Which I don't post. We don't really do videos. We do them for patch, but
right.
But I don't think they got the notifications turned off. That's kind of falls in Justin's area. Anyway, so I'm familiar with that, but how does TikTok notifications work that it's geared towards kids being safer?
So
I guess for the people out there like me that just don't know, what's that mean?
Okay, so the notifications, just like YouTube, if somebody comments on your video or likes your video or shares your video, you'll get those notifications.
Right.
But here's what's changing. So TikTok detailed several features on the social platform aimed at users ages 13 to 17. So they include default settings for direct messages, so no one can send private messages unless sharing options are updated. The updates feature prompts that pop up when younger users are about to share a video, asking whom they want to allow to view it, as well as whether they want other people to download their post. And TikTok is setting limits on when teen users get notifications as well. So accounts for users from ages 13 to 15 will will not see push notifications after 9 p.m.
Yeah.
And users 16 and 17 won't see notifications after 10 p.m. So
That's craziness because I don't know any 16, 17-year-old that doesn't stay up till like 3 a.m.
well, at least TikTok can't be the
The reason?
yeah.
So hold on. So you can direct message somebody through TikTok now? Or
Yes, you can private message.
Maybe you've
yeah.
always done that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
So
Yeah, kind of the documentary we talked about at one point, Social Dilemma, just
Yeah.
maybe cutting down a little bit on beep beep, getting that buzz and getting
What
kids
can
to look at their phone.
you can't direct
constantly.
message through YouTube, right?
yeah, you can. I think so.
What?
I don't
No
know.
I thought
way.
it was just comments, but
You can comment, but I don't think you can direct message. It doesn't have that feature, surely.
I don't know if it does or not.
I don't either.
I
Like
never
I say, I
looked.
watch YouTube, and I don't really pay attention to the rules.
Right.
You know,
Right.
not really a rule person, but no, I'm joking. Anyway, my life since we do daycares and after-school programs is pretty much made up of rules and protocol. But
Yeah.
anyway, so direct messaging to TikTok, man. So you can direct message through just about anything now. It's crazy. Because I know Instagram, Snapchat, that's all about like. My
Yeah.
kids always say, "Well, I message them," and I'm like, "You sent them a text, like to their phone number?" Like, no, of course not.
Yeah, that's
They
old
message
technology.
oh yeah, they message through Instagram and Snapchat now as if they were texting,
Right.
and I don't understand the concept. Why not text directly to their phone
Yeah, I don't
instead
either.
of having to go into an app and then go into direct messaging? I mean, that's essentially what texting is. You just shortcut that.
They make it sound like texting's old technology. Look,
Yeah.
now here we go. My
Yeah,
soapbox.
Yeah, get on, Joe.
They're
Let's
like,
go.
oh, we're not texting. That's what old people do. Yeah, you are.
Yeah,
Because if it wasn't for texting, that technology would not be
Yeah.
there.
and they're doing an extra step to text.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. It baffles me, but anyway, kids. So okay, so back to the good news on TikTok. Where you
Yes.
at on that one, Justin? Come on
Yeah.
now, man.
He seen me dusting off my soapbox and he was just going to let this train ride.
I know you just know he sat back across the arms like, all right, let's just go here. Just gonna watch this unfold. How far down the rabbit hole does it go?
Yeah. So again, if you have teens ages 13 to 15, they will stop seeing notifications after 9 p.m. in the evening, and age 16 to 17 users will stop seeing them after 10 p.m. So TikTok cannot be used as an excuse of staying up all night because
No.
it was replying to notifications.
Gotcha. So that's automatically kicks on.
Apparently.
Nice.
And
Well, I
actually-
mean that's a good thing. I'm a big advocate. Like my kids put their stuff away at 10:30.
Right.
You know, like literally turn them off, put them on charge, put them away.
Right. And actually, Justin brings up a great point about the Social Dilemma movie. That is one thing, and I never give it any thought. It was like, yeah, all the dings during the day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just one less ding you have to hear.
seems like a lot of these companies are making some effort, like seen other things. I think it maybe was TikTok, where if you're under 16 by default, your account's going to be private
Yes.
when you first open it.
Right.
You know, just to make it that's the default, and then if parents want to have their kids' stuff just out there for anyone to see, then they
Yeah.
could.
Yeah, they can choose later to change that setting. Yeah, I mean, I have to say, TikTok has really stepped up here as of late. We've been talking about them a lot here in the recent episodes about all the good things that they're doing to
They had some
protect
sort of
privacy and to,
anti-seizure thing at one point.
yeah, to protect privacy, to help from a health standpoint, like you said, the seizures, the auto captioning for the hearing impaired, and then just teen privacy and security just keeps stepping up.
Were they the ones that had something like it would recognize negative words? Like Dave could message me saying you're an idiot, and it would give me the option of not seeing it or
I think so.
keeping that message from coming to me.
I think so.
That could have been Instagram too, maybe. But
Might have been one or the other, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would send him a pop-up saying, "Are you sure you want to send that?
Yeah.
You're not being very nice."
Yeah. I
So
like that one.
I have some news on TikTok.
Okay.
I looked it up. CNBC. This is from CNBC.
Okay.
So Tick-Tock was supposed to sell a portion under the previous administration to an American company.
Right.
Oracle, Walmart reportedly stepped up. Well, that's been pushed back indefinitely.
Really?
This is via the Wall Street Journal. Yeah, back in February of 2021, they pushed it back indefinitely. The federal judge blocked the banning the app, saying you can't do that because the Commerce Department overstepped its legal authority.
Huh.
So yeah, still a Chinese tech company, 100%. So for everybody out there, get off TikTok if you don't support that. Busting people's bubbles. They're like, what? Wait a minute. Sorry, Joe.
I knew
I will say I will be the first. I am off TikTok.
Well, I'm right behind you.
I don't believe you.
Check my phone.
You just told me you were TikToking it up.
I said I had to uninstall the app.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't miss that part.
Yeah, because I was
typing in your comments for the show, so I missed
I was
it.
spending way too much time watching
Really?
videos.
So you're doing
Yes.
self-regulation.
Yes.
By golly, I'm proud of you, Joe. That's awesome. That's really hard to do.
Yeah, because I mean, literally, like at night before
Yeah.
I go to bed, I just kick on there, just see a couple videos, and it's like literally an hour and a half later. It's
30 videos later.
Like, no, it wasn't. It was
Oh,
like,
they're only a minute long.
yeah, so 90 videos later, it's like,
Ooh.
yeah, because I mean, I'd kill an hour in no time flat.
Yeah,
It's
and
like,
wouldn't even notice it.
no,
Yeah.
no, that's what was scary.
Yep.
It's like, okay, yeah, I've got to cut this cold turkey because there's
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, kudos for you, Joe. That is
Thank you.
awesome. There are not very many people that will pry themselves away from social media.
Well, that was one of those. Okay, what actual benefit am I getting out of this?
Mhm.
Okay, it's like, okay, yeah, one out of 100 videos, yeah, there's something cool or a neat idea or something like that. Okay, that's great. For the rest of them, it's like just for entertainment purposes.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I can do without
Just
that.
rolling through to keep yourself from being bored.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. And that's what social media. If anybody out there is interested, watch The Social Dilemma. It's a documentary, and man, it really opens your eyes to how social media works.
Now, be careful chatting that up because we have been censored on social media over talking about this before. Seriously.
Nice. Okay. I blame Justin because he had one real. The first part of his job is to keep things like that from happening and to keep us on topic.
Yeah, I got one strike on my personal Facebook account.
Do you really?
Yes.
That's weird. Can't talk about something.
Well, we had that discussion too. I mean, it's hard when you're dealing with a private business. You got to follow their rules.
And literally, there was no rhyme or reason. They just said, and literally all I did was I shared the post from our podcast and said, "Here's our review." That's all I said. I didn't go one way or the other. And literally, I got a notification from Facebook. We pulled your post because it was against community guidelines.
Yeah.
What rule did I break? You broke community guidelines, but what rule did I break? And it never said what rule I broke.
Joe getting censored.
Yeah.
That's good. Joe the Rebel. I like it. We're starting a whole new deal for you, buddy.
We're starting a revolution.
We're just gonna roll it out as Joe the Rebel.
Yeah.
Joe the IT Rebel. Joe the Tech Rebel. I don't know. Somebody comment in with a cool name for Joe.
Yeah.
We're gonna support his fight against the man.
Yeah. Yeah, watch it next week. I'll be in here with temporary tattoos and everything.
Oh gosh. Nice. Get you a Harley. America. All right.
You're talking about the little toy ones, right?
Yeah.
With my budget, that's all I can get.
We'll get you a scooter and slap a Harley sticker on.
All right. Now we're talking.
Hey, I had a scooter for a while. They're awesome.
Yeah, you let me ride it one time. It was a little scary.
Yeah.
Every time a car would pass you, it would wobble a little bit. I was like, oh my gosh.
I forgot about you having the scooter.
Oh, man, it was great. He got 100 miles a gallon.
I was riding around
Zipping
town.
around town. You park wherever you want to park because you can park in between cars,
Right.
that parallel park. And yeah.
Yeah, I completely forgot about you having the scooter.
Well, it was a big thing for a while. Like gas went up. Got
Yeah.
pretty high for a while, and people were like, all right, everybody drug out their old motorcycles, and you just saw a lot more motorcycle riding. Well, myself, Zach, Adam, we all got scooters.
Yeah.
I mean, ride to Ripley on a 100 miles per gallon deal, and you're there and back in 1 gallon of gas.
Right.
I was like, heck yeah. So yeah. All right, well, thanks, Justin. Back to TikTok here, and their
TikTok's the scooters. So.
yeah, their work is to help keep children safe and to cut down on that. And Joe, I'm really proud. That is awesome. I just, it's usually the other way. People are like, well, now I'm doing this. You
Yeah.
know, or, you know, I'm not Facebooking as much, but I filled that time with Instagram or Snapchat or whatever.
Right.
To pry yourself away from something's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, I actually just took self inventory. It's like, there's literally no benefit from this.
What am I doing?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I haven't had a TV for a year almost, and I don't miss it. So I read more.
Yeah.
See, it's one of those, you don't realize it until you just.
Oh yeah, I go to bed earlier. I used to. That was what got me.
Yeah.
Between like when my kids would go to bed around 10 o'clock,
Right.
I would watch TV until midnight.
Yeah.
And the real problem is I'm a sucker for a movie. I'd catch a good movie, something just like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, and I would sit there and watch it till 1 a.m. And then
Right.
I'd get up at 5:30 in the morning and be tired.
Yeah, be dragging blood in here. Yeah.
And I'm like, crap. So I, stopped.
Yeah.
And once I stopped, now I go to bed earlier. I read more.
Mm-hmm.
I wake up easier. Yeah. So interesting stuff. Well, good for you, Joe.
Well, thank you.
All right. What's next? It's not-
T-Mobile.
Yeah, T-Mobile.
Okay, now I got some bad news.
Oh boy, you're a T-Mobile user as well.
Yes.
Does this affect you?
Possibly once we see how it all comes out in the wash.
Yet to be seen, huh?
Yes.
Interesting.
So T-Mobile has reported over the weekend that unauthorized access to its data has occurred, but it's not clear yet if customer info was involved.
Oh, are they getting held for ransom?
No, they got hit with a data breach.
Hmm.
So.
Well, hold on. So what's the difference between getting hit for a data breach and the ones that are getting held for ransom?
So a data breach is they sneak in, steal all the information, and then just leave,
Okay.
and then sell it on the internet.
Ooh.
The holdup, or what we call ransomware, is they go in, take all the information, put it under lock and key, and stand there and hold the key going, you want the key?
So
Well,
there's no
here's X
chance
amount of
they'll
dollars.
get this information back. It's already gone.
Yeah,
and sold.
it's already out the window.
Isn't that interesting to see how there's two different ways to attack a company?
Uh-huh. And the only reason they figured it out is the website Motherboard reported on Sunday that there was a post on an underground forum claiming to be selling stolen data from T-Mobile servers, and that the seller of the data said it included social security numbers, names, addresses, and driver's licenses, information related to more than 100 million people.
Holy cow! How much do you think something like that goes for?
For the whole lock, stock, and barrel, or just like on a user-by-user basis?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because
I mean, 100 million people is a ton.
yeah, because
There's only 400 million in the U.S.
Because years ago,
Daggone, that's 1/4 the population, roughly.
yeah,
And would T-Mobile have customers' socials?
yeah. Well, when you create an account,
When you do your contract, you do your driver's license, social security number.
That's ridiculous.
It's kind of like buying a car because you buy a phone and.
Well, I gotta switch that up. That shouldn't be part of getting a freaking cell phone.
Well, I mean, it's kind of crazy. Your social security number used to be pretty safe, but now.
Well, yeah. What's crazy is they tell you don't share your social security number with everybody unless you apply for a bank loan, apply for a car loan, you buy a cell phone. You want to do any transaction, don't use it, but you have to buy anything.
Oh yeah, yeah. So anyway, ballpark number of what they're selling all this information for?
A few years ago, like your personal identity, your name, social, and all that was only worth about $50.
Yeah.
Because where the money's at is what I can do after I get that information.
Right.
I can take out loans and credit cards and all that. So I've not heard what the dollar amount is on this amount of information.
Yeah.
But T-Mobile said Monday that they're investigating the claims and conducting an extensive analysis alongside digital forensic experts to understand the validity of these claims, and they're coordinating it with law enforcement. The statement added that T-Mobile would communicate with customers once a company has a clear understanding of what has happened.
You know that's true, because they may not have actually stolen anything, right?
Yeah.
Could be just a farce.
Well, or it could be old data from a breach that happened 3 years ago. I mean, that has happened before.
Yeah.
Somebody goes online, like, look at all this information. It's old information. Yeah, but look at it. 30 hackers already had it 6 months ago. It's of no value now. So
I wonder, is it getting worse with people stealing information, or are we just more aware of it because there's more digital media to get the information out there?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I mean, when it comes to these big companies, either they have, it's one of those, when it comes to big companies, they more likely they've already been hit, but the question is, do they know it or not? That's what's scary.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
'Cause I was talking to somebody one time, and they said that their company's IT department, literally would just sit there and like they had a screen dedicated to just watching people trying to hit their servers, and like you just sit there all day and almost like the stock
Stock
ticker.
market, yeah.
You could just sit there and just watch it just all day long.
Wow.
It's like they tried to, and their company was trying to get hit like 30,000 times a day.
It's a crazy world.
Yeah.
30,000 times. I assume that's automated, right? Somebody just sitting there doing an automated program that just keeps.
Yeah, it just keeps poking.
Yeah.
And see if there's any holes in the wall to
Wow.
get in.
Isn't it crazy? Your information has to be kept by all these different companies that you deal with,
Mm-hmm.
and then once
And you
it's-
trust these companies.
Yeah.
Yeah, trust that they're gonna invest enough money in security, cybersecurity to keep your
Well-
stuff safe. But
And it evolves all the time.
yeah. So what, are you gonna stay on top of this, Joe, and
Oh,
check back in and see,
Absolutely.
see if your identity?
Are you concerned that
sold.
yours went?
No, actually,
I mean, I laugh when I say it, but I mean, what do you do?
well, actually, I have my identity protected through one of the data breaches a couple years ago. Oh, Equifax. When Equifax hit, we was partly part of that settlement, and we could have took some money or took 10 years of identity protection, so I'm good.
Hmm.
Well, yeah. What sort of protection is it? But
I think it's the same type of protection as like.
so there's somebody like on the lookout to if somebody tries to say get a loan using your social.
Yeah.
Out in Montana, they're like keeping an eye on all that stuff
Right.
for you. That's
Yes.
the protection, basically. Yeah.
Yes.
Didn't you just talk about taking a vacation in Montana, Justin?
Yeah, all of a sudden he did just come in with a little bit of money,
I know,
didn't he?
yeah. What
See
was
me
I
on
saying
Instagram, a new
here?
RV.
Nah, I'm joking. That's funny.
Yeah, flying first class and everything.
Yeah. Brand new. It's kind of crazy. I mean, you think about how often that probably happens, because if you're getting that many pings on one business that sits there and watch it, imagine how many businesses, how many.
Well, of course, now this was a big corporation, so I mean, it's one of those. They had a target on their back. Just
Well,
the type of industry they worked in
Yeah.
and the size of the company. I mean, it was.
I mean, you figure out all the credit card companies, all the big banks, all the stores. You know, they all have information like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot, I'm sure. Interesting.
T-Mobile has that many users.
Well, if you
That's a
think,
good point. How do they have 1/4 the population?
well, if you think about it, if Justin had an account 5 years ago and moved on to Verizon or AT&T, I guarantee that
Right.
there's a server somewhere that's kept that data in there
Huh.
forever.
Yeah, and that'd be something. Seems like an argument could be made to pass a law to say once they close their account, you
Well,
destroy that.
you know
Yeah.
what?
Totally delete that info.
It says here between 2018 2021, in the second quarter of 2021, T-Mobile provided service for over a total of 1.104 million customers.
There you go.
All their customers'
Yeah.
information went out the door there, if it did.
Yeah.
How in the world has T-Mobile got 1/4 the population?
Well, if you well, just the service they offer, and then because they're one of the bigger ones as far as like a track phone deal, you pay as you go kind of deal, and well, plus they just incorporated Sprint customers, so that
Yeah, merging the two.
yeah.
So 95% of the population owns cell phones in America. 85% of those are smartphones. Only 11% are a cell phone, but not a smartphone.
Flip phones.
Isn't that crazy?
Did you guys see the new Samsung flip phones? Yeah, I saw an advertisement for them last night. They're really doubling down trying to sell it. It's a smartphone. It's an Android phone, but it's a flip phone. Actually looks pretty neat, but I haven't even looked at the sticker price on it. I'm just too afraid to.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it seems like the Samsung
Is it already out?
phones are pretty
I think
expensive.
so.
I was trying to. How
I think
many?
we were
cell
looking at
phones?
it, Joe, one time just for kicks. Like the top of the line Android phone. I mean, it's like over 2,000, right? It's like almost
Yeah, it's at least over
2,500.
1,000. Yeah, Okay, so the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip starts at $1,000.
That's about average, right?
Yeah.
So there's 4 national wireless carriers: Verizon, Sprint, AT&T, and T-Mobile. And Sprint and T-Mobile merged. So now there's really only 3.
Right. Well, now U.S. Cellular's kind of bumped up in rating.
Well, and you have well, yeah, those are the main ones, I guess. But don't you have like what's Ryan Reynolds' Mint?
Mint. Well, see now what Mint does is they work like TracFone and Straight Talk. They are a reseller. So they buy the service from the carriers, sell to you at a lower rate.
Yeah. So regional, you're right. Regional is U.S. Cellular. And the big 4 are the Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, and Sprint, which is now the big 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like you're just saying, the ones that piggyback on someone else's services.
Right.
Metro, Boost, Cricket, Google, U.S. Mobile, Virgin Mobile, Best Cellular. And then there's some lesser known ones.
Right.
Pretty interesting. Man. That's a big move for Sprint and T-Mobile.
Yeah.
Now, eventually, if they find out all the people whose information was stolen, would they reach out to those customers and say, "Hey, just so you know"?
Yes, they have to. They'll reach out to the customers and say, "Hey, your data has your identity has been breached," and then you just see. And then what'll more than likely happen? A class action lawsuit will happen, and then there'll be some kind of payout where they'll either offer identity theft protection or pay you, and it's usually like not much money.
Yeah. Well, 1/4 the population. That's a lot of people to reimburse.
Right. So right, and after lawyer fees and all that, it'll probably be like $20 or something like that. I mean,
That's enough for you to take me and Justin to lunch.
this is true. And I seen La Finca open back up this week, so there we go.
Ooh.
Yeah.
From what?
I think he was doing some remodel upgrades.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So today or tomorrow, or when do you want to take us?
Well, once
Today
I get the
sounds good.
Now time out.
It's kind of a rainy, crappy day. We could go today, right?
Now wait a minute,
You'll get the payout.
Justin's the one we know had money coming from the whole Zoom lawsuit.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So, you're supposed to get like $12 out of it.
Yep.
So
Well, there you go. If we combine your 20 with his 12, that's $10 each for all of us, and a $2 tip.
because he was going to pay for the inner tubes for the water slide.
Yeah. You know, we never did hear anything about that.
No, we didn't. And I went back to the office and told Cena that, and apparently we had something because she didn't look at me like I was just came up with the dumbest idea ever. She was like, "That might work." So I was like,
that would work fantastic.
so it's like, okay, if Cena's on board, then yeah, we could actually make something of this.
Yeah, I'm in. Huh. Okay. All right, back on the table then, Justin. Add that to your list of projects.
Okay.
World's longest continuous water slide. Okay.
All right, so next story. Last story of the day.
GM.
Yes. So, I didn't know this was a thing, but...
I can't even believe GM comes up because we were talking about this when you listed it, and I put it in the comments or the title there. I was like, GM, why? What could you possibly dwell by that? And we were talking about washing machines and stuff like that, but that was GE.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, gosh, I don't even know the brands now. Never mind. That tells you how my Wednesday's going.
Yeah.
I'm confusing
Yeah,
GE
Justin,
with GM.
Yeah, Justin asked me, he said, how's your day been? I said, it's third Monday of the week. How's yours?
All right, so give us the tech news update on GM. And this is GM cars, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, so if you have a Chevy Bolt, GM is reportedly going to replace the battery modules to risk fire risk.
Is there any car that doesn't get recalled now?
I don't. Well, we went to the Amish country last weekend, and I did not see any recalls on any of the horse and buggies. So.
That you know of?
Yeah. So and we're going to get into the details of what years qualify. But if your vehicle qualifies and you get the replacement, it also extends you with a new 8-year, 100,000-mile warranty.
What?
Yeah.
Hold on, say that again.
So So here's what's going on.
Did you say 800,000?
No, 8-year, 100,000.
Okay.
Okay.
I misheard you. Sorry.
So here's what's going on. So GM came out with the Chevy Bolt EV electric vehicles
Yep.
from years 2017 to 2019, and GM recalled over 68,000 of these back in November because the batteries, there was an issue with the batteries and it was causing them to catch on fire. So they recalled them.
Never a good thing.
No, especially after the money you pay for the vehicle now, and then that's the reason your house burns down. So this is the latest step the automaker has taken to address issues with some Bolt EV models that make their batteries more likely to catch fire. As the publication notes, GM has recalled these twice in little over a year before this, and after over a dozen incidences where vehicles went up in flames due to battery-related issues. So back in November, 68,000 of these vehicles were recalled and pushed out a firmware update. So here's how they fixed it, or quote-unquote fixed it.
Mm-hmm.
They pushed out an update to only limit the batteries to be charged up to 90%. So now you can't charge your battery all the way to 100% because it may catch on fire. So we'll limit you to 90%. We'll punish you for this, for your safety. Then
We'll punish you for your safety.
yeah.
I like it.
So apparently that wasn't good enough. It was still catching on fire.
Oh gosh.
So in July, the National Highway Traffic Administration issued a safety alert advising owners of 2017 to 2019 Bolts not to park their cars indoors or leave them charging overnight. So now you can't park it in your garage, but
how do you do that?
But don't charge it overnight. So So first we punished you by not letting you fully charge your car. Now we're going to punish you. You can't park it in your garage, and make sure you don't charge it overnight because it can still catch on fire.
That's what. You drive it during the day, you charge it overnight.
Yeah,
That's
that was the whole selling point.
Ridiculous.
So
just sit there in a chair and watch your car charge.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on it.
Well, and not drive it during the day.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Listen, we can only drive it at night because I can charge it during the day outside.
Yeah.
Well, what does it matter charging it overnight or charging it during the day? What does it matter when you charge it?
Well, because
you're not sitting there watching it.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're at work during the day, like if I had one and I drove it to work here, it'd be charging outside. I wouldn't see it.
Right. Well, but somebody would be more likely to see it. Well, and then
I guess you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, unless safety liability, your house burning down and you burning up in it.
Well, I mean, you park it out if you know it might catch on fire, you're not putting it in your garage. Park it out in your driveway or out in the street.
Yeah, but where would your electric charging outlet would be?
Well, hopefully, extension cord that baby.
220.
Yeah. Listen, Joe, quit making it complicated.
Quit bringing up good
I'm
points.
trying to solve problems here, and you're beating me up.
Yeah, and you're bringing up these good points. We can't have that.
Here's the good news. So you get about 250 miles of range, and it only costs $7 to charge it.
Plus,
but it might burn your house down.
Yeah.
Well, not if you have the newer model.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I didn't know how. I looked up Chevy Bolt just to kind of see what kind of deal it was. I mean, it's a mid-sized car, and they got about 250, 260 miles of range, and then costs $7 to charge it at home. Like if you're at home charging it, so $7. That's a lot of miles per dollar.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 2 gallons of gas maybe. Yeah, just that 2 gallons of gas. So in my car, you'd get like 40 miles.
But look at all the extra. Well, now wait a minute. That's not right because that's if your car was fully charged, and they're only letting them charge at 90%.
Yeah. So no, it's still $10 a charge.
Yeah.
That's
I
not
was talking
bad.
about the mileage though.
Yeah.
So the warning from the NHTA was after 2 more Bolt vehicles caught on fire. And then finally in April, the automaker released a supposed to be final software fix to resolve the issue. And obviously that didn't fix it. And
you're down to 60%.
Yeah. So GM had to go back to the drawing board. So Electrek says GM has informed some owners that they'll be able to start booking appointments to have all their modules and their batteries to be replaced starting August 23rd. Owners who go through with the replacement will get a new 8-year, 100,000 mile or first fire, whichever comes first. That last part was just me. Disclaimer, that was just for entertainment purposes. I don't need a letter from the reps at GM.
Yeah. So just to clarify, you get new batteries, new modules.
Yeah.
That's big because the batteries are really expensive.
Exactly. Plus, they say here's a new 8-year,
And
100,000 mile
you get a
warranty.
warranty.
Yeah.
Man, that and for like a 2017 model that's already, 4 going on 5 years old.
Yeah,
That's a new car.
Yeah. So Chevrolet will only replace battery modules and bolts produced within that time frame. GM suspects battery manufacturing defects were present. You think?
Yeah. Now I wonder how that works, because I'm sure Chevy doesn't make the batteries, so somebody else is making the batteries.
Yeah.
And then they have to fix it, but they bought the batteries from whoever.
I will say that the first time around they went with the lowest bidder, and that's what they got.
Yeah.
And they went back and goes, yeah, maybe we should go over quality instead of quantity.
Well, I just mean, do they try to get their money back from the original manufacturer?
Oh, I'm sure that, but that's probably something we'll never.
Some lawsuit, probably.
Yeah, or
I wonder-
something.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I wonder how that works, because
Now, do either of you ever see these bolts driving around?
I have not.
I haven't
not
either.
here,
Yeah.
but I mean, out on the road I've seen them.
Yeah, I think I've seen a couple. I remember kind of when they first started coming out.
Yeah, like maybe I
they
saw
caught
one in
my eye,
Huntington
'cause
or.
they're kind of small and funny looking.
So Electrek says that they're going to prioritize 2019 models first, and then followed by the 2017 and 2018 models.
So they said they have them for sale down in Charleston, West Virginia. Two 2017 models. You can buy one for 18, one for 21. A 2019 model is 21.5.
So there you go. Go down to buy it.
Yeah.
Take the recall, and you bought a used car with a brand new warranty.
I wonder if they'll honor that.
They have to.
I mean, you get the recall stuff laid on you even if you're a second buyer or whatever?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, because Dad bought a truck off a guy he worked with, and that was a Dodge truck, and that was when Dodge had that recall where hackers could get into the radio system and take over your entire vehicle. And Dad was the second owner, and Dodge actually sent him a thumb drive with the firmware update, and I had to run it on the truck. So yeah.
Wow. Huh. Well, here's the crazy part. So I'm just looking at ones for sale. So the one for sale comes with a 12-month, 12,000-mile warranty.
And well, with a dealer.
Yeah, and it's got 96,000 miles on it for 15,000, we'll say. And then you can take it to the recall and get another 8-year, 100,000 mile warranty on the
Yeah.
batteries, right?
Well, I'm assuming the whole.
The whole car?
Yeah. Well,
Nah, surely it's just the batteries.
it might just be the batteries. I don't know.
But still, then you'd get 12,000 from the dealer in a year, and then
Yeah.
you'd get the batteries would be great. So, man,
it's not a bad deal.
that's kind of a game changer for buying a used car.
Yeah.
I'm in because I could drive this around.
There you go. So
Gets enough mileage.
next week you're going to do the review on how easy the process was of this. Take care of the GM warranty issue.
I can't afford another car. Are you crazy? We'll have to do this on Justin's budget. Justin will be front the money for our next show's product review.
There you go.
So Justin, you just keep your power pack, and I'll use your money for a new car,
Yeah, it's funny.
a new used car.
It's charging right now.
It's been
really
charging
is.
all week.
It's
What are you
on-
talking about?
It's finally on the fourth little blinky light. 4 out of 4.
Are you charging it just for kicks, or
Uh,
in case you need
yeah,
it?
just in case I need it. So,
So you started last
if I
week.
need it next week, I might
Well, he's planning on going on a trip during Thanksgiving, so he wanted to make sure it was
Yeah.
ready.
get going on that.
He's trying to be ahead of the ball game here.
So how long?
tried.
It took like 2 days to charge it before. How long did this round take?
I don't even remember when did I plug it in? It must have been.
Monday?
Well, let me ask you this: was Trump
Monday,
still in the
yeah.
White House when you plugged it
You just walk by it every couple of weeks. I'm like, all right, yeah, I gained a little bit.
Oh yeah, so we're definitely over 2 days right now. I think. But it's getting there. It keeps going up and up.
I wonder if maybe it's just super high quality. So anything that's worth waiting for is gonna take a while. Is that the case?
Yeah, let's go with that.
I wonder if that could be a car salesman's deal. They're like, hey, listen, this car takes a long time to charge, but just think about it.
Or
Wine ages, cheese ages.
Yeah.
Why not cars?
yeah, but milk does too, but not as good.
Yeah.
Well, they take you to
Joe would
Bolt.
be a hard sell. He'd throw that out and they'd be like, man, this guy.
Yeah, they bring you over to the Bolt. This is the hottest car in the parking lot, guaranteed.
Yeah. Yeah. It lives up to its name.
Yeah.
Don't you worry.
Oh.
That's funny. I kind of want one.
Yeah,
I've been wanting an electric car for a while, but I can't afford it.
I was gonna say, make sure your homeowner's insurance is paid up,
Paid
that
up.
it covers.
I don't have a garage to park it in, so it's okay.
Yeah, but you still have to plug it in to charge it.
Yeah, I extension cord that baby. Couple of power strips and extension cord later. Here we go.
Yeah, what could possibly go wrong?
Some black tape. They'll be like, timeout. Your car didn't catch on fire. It's your 220 running out the driveway off of
Yeah.
two other outlets and your neighbor's outlet that's got you in trouble.
Yeah, Dave, your car would be the first car in GM history that fell under the recall, but somehow you rigged it up where
Yeah,
it
yeah.
completely avoided the recall.
That's funny. All right. So,
Alright.
just to get back on topic here, we were talking something about GM, and is that the actual recall of the Bolt?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
just making sure.
Yeah, and the reason it fell under the tech category because it's an electric vehicle one.
Yeah. Now, do you know anybody that has one?
Personally, no.
Okay. Now, I know there's some Nissan Leafs here in town.
Yes.
I'm curious now if there's any Chevy Bolts in Spencer.
We'll have to keep a lookout for it.
I know. I'm going to start looking. I've never really paid attention to Chevy because I didn't think about them having an electric car.
Right.
But I've seen the Nissan Leaf and rode around in one.
Yeah.
And it was pretty neat. And I know they have, like, the one that I rode in had, like, an 86-mile range,
Yeah.
which makes it tricky because, you know.
Yeah, especially around here.
Yeah, because it's, 60, 70 miles to Charleston.
Yeah, it's an hour to get to anywhere. And-
Yeah, so, I mean, you could go to Ripley. Ripley's 30-some miles, depending on where you go,
Right.
and make it back. It'd be tight, but you could do it.
Yeah.
That's why I always think for around here, electric vehicle is kind of a bad idea, but a hybrid wouldn't be a bad idea because
Yeah,
then you
now
could-
there's a lot of Priuses, a lot of hybrids.
yeah, a hybrid wouldn't be a bad idea.
But, man, with a Chevy Bolt with 250 miles, that'd get you somewhere.
Hopefully in front of the fire station.
Yeah. Get you straight to the fire department.
I wonder what the charge time is on a Chevy Bolt.
Let's see.
Well, it'd be a lot faster since it'd be only going 90%.
Yeah, Justin, just think if you stopped your power bank at, like, only 3 bars, you wouldn't have to wait those extra 3 days.
So, okay, so Chevy Bolt charge time is 7.5 hours on 220, 55 hours on 110.
55 hours?
Yep.
That's a problem.
That's on the new 2022 models.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. So this one says the Chevy Volt EV has a DC fast charger option, 55 kilowatt hours, which allows the Bolt to charge up to 80% in 1 hour.
Nice. Okay, well now the 55 hour, that's for the EUV.
Yeah, you gotta get the newer one.
So,
Huh.
is the Volt all electric, or it's a combination?
The way it looks like it's all just
Because
uh,
seeing something. I mean, there's probably all different models, but I'm seeing 420 miles of range using a combination of electric and gasoline. Huh.
Huh. Interesting. So we've done our homework for those of with interest here in the Spencer, West Virginia area of electric cars.
Yeah.
A, if you have a Chevy Volt, watch out.
Bolt.
Bolt.
Yeah.
Volt, it's all the same. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You are apparently charging it all night, which you shouldn't do, nor store it in your garage.
Yeah.
Okay. Safety first, Joe.
Yeah, so for some reason I have these pictures of, remember the movie Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
Yep.
I think it'd just be safer to start mounting solar panels to the rest of these vehicles.
Yeah.
So then you can set out in your driveway and it catches on fire. It just melts in your
Yeah.
driveway.
Yeah.
Melts in your driveway, not in your house.
craziness. You know what I wonder is how long it took them to figure this out. Like how many houses burnt down, how many cars caught on fire.
Yeah, how much
All
damage?
right, hold on. Maybe this is a serious thing we should look at.
Yeah, how much collateral damage was done before they actually did something?
Huh.
All right, so
Okay.
let's.
Tip of the week, Tom?
Yeah.
Or- okay.
Always look forward to these.
I mean, we could circle back to something else if you choose.
Uh,
Since we're not being regulated by Justin at all,
yeah,
we could pretty much talk about whatever we want.
which we have.
Yeah, I agree. So we did go over some good stuff, though. Tick-Tock,
Yes.
GM, and T-Mobile.
T-Mobile.
Yep. So if you're anybody that's involved in any of those things, just be aware of the changes coming along or what you need to know.
Right.
You may have been hacked.
Yeah, you may
Yeah.
have been hacked. Your kids will be
Safer.
put to bed a little earlier, hopefully, maybe. I don't know. And then GM, if you own one of the Chevy Bolts, be aware. Or
Yeah.
if you're thinking about buying one, as Joe said, now Consumer Review says, buy one, go get the recall, and you got
Yeah.
8-year, 100,000-mile warranty on batteries as far as we could figure.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. All right. Joe, I need a loan.
I'll let you know.
I really don't plan on paying it back, but we'll call it a loan.
Yeah.
So, I mean, really, I need more of a grant. but,
Okay.
And no, I don't want to talk to Cena about it. I know how that goes.
For some reason, she uses that automatic denial stamp pretty often, doesn't she?
She
Yeah.
does. My gosh. Anyway, all right, on to the tip of the week. We've been
Okay.
doing some product reviews, but
Yes.
I like the tip of the weeks.
Yeah,
And
this
I know there for a while you had a string of like 5 tip of the weeks that all affected me. And I was just like, yes, I'm on a roll of getting good information here.
right.
Will this one have that same impact for either myself or Justin?
Probably you.
All right, I like it. I like where you're going. Justin, you don't matter. I do. So, thank you, Joe.
Well, hopefully Justin doesn't have to fall in this category.
As far as he knows.
Yeah, as far as he knows.
All right, Joe's tip of the week. Here we go.
Okay, so today in Roane County was the first day of school,
Oh, yeah. Congratulations to all the folks going to school.
and I've already heard the chaos that ensued. I heard on the local scanner this morning and stuff. I won't. We'll discuss that off air.
Ooh, juicy news on the first day of school already.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. First day of school. Where's Sadie at?
She's at the house today.
Okay. So, yep, first day of school for all those folks out there sending their child off to kindergarten, or like I know my son's starting tomorrow. They'll start their, he'll be in his senior year. So
That's
his
crazy.
last year of public school.
That is crazy.
Yeah, and then my 2 girls are freshmen in high school. So, Joe, cherish every moment where you're at now because by golly.
I'm gonna say I feel old now because I remember Kel used to be this little runt that
Oh yeah.
sit in the other room and just
Yep.
mouth me the whole time, fire me every time we had the chance.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now he's
Senior in high
a senior high. That doesn't. Now I feel old. So
school. Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
So yeah, he's a senior in high school. And just think, Joe, back when you were in high school, I was a teacher there,
Yes.
and now my son, and your daughter will be there one day. So
Oh, yeah.
enjoy it while you can. So anyway, congratulations to all those folks that are posting first day of whatever grade.
Yeah.
Facebook will have its fill, and Instagram or whatever,
Yeah.
Snapchat.
Social media altogether.
Social media altogether.
Yeah.
There you go. Good point. We'll have its fill. So Justin, are you going to do a first day of school type photo of anything for yourself?
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
We'll see.
The day is still young.
I'm waiting for somebody to start spoofing everybody and just have like 784th
Yeah.
day of work,
Yeah.
Yeah.
holding their sign up, or,
Yeah.
Because I'm on 18 years. I got 19 years of work here at Patch,
Right.
Yeah.
just to spoof all the parents
That'd
there.
be good.
And I say that and I make fun, but honestly, tomorrow when my kids go to school, guess what I'm doing first thing?
Yep.
Taking a picture and saying freshman in high school, senior in high
Yep. Yep.
it's kind of like a rite of passage.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's crazy.
So anyway, back to the first day. Is that what we were even talking about?
It coincides with this week's tip of the week.
Okay.
So-
first day of school today. Congratulations, Roane County, Jackson County, surrounding counties. Okay. Go ahead, Joe.
Okay, so we're going to talk about protecting kids online.
Ooh.
School's back into
Yeah.
play and whether you're in person or virtual or whatever the situation may be.
Yep.
One things that the kids can't avoid
Yeah.
is being online. So
Right.
here's some tips of the week to, as parents, help make your job easier, a little easier, to monitor your kids' online activities.
Yep.
So the first tip is check the installed apps on your kids' devices. This is one that a lot of parents kind of overlook and don't think about.
Now hold on, is that like their personal devices or the device the school gives them?
They're
or
personal.
Both?
Well, it may not hurt to do both if they figure out some kind of override.
Yeah, I was gonna say I assume the school's got pretty good security. But,
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So that's a great tip, and I know I watch it. We with Patch, I'm around kids all the time,
Right.
and I watch parents not check
Yes.
their kid's phone.
Right.
And we have this talk. Parents will give their younger child a phone, and they're like, "Oh, it's all good." And I'm like, "Listen, part of our safety protocol is you need to understand what you just handed your 9-year-old.
Exactly.
They have access to illicit and explicit stuff that they should not,
Exactly.
or at least in my opinion should not. So let me put
Right.
that disclaimer: my opinion only.
Right.
They have access to everything that's out there,
Right.
and as a parent, you need to do due diligence.
Yeah, and at that point, I'm not really looking forward to that.
It's hard.
Because with Sadie, thankfully, she's still young enough that
Yeah.
we keep an eye on what she does. And the worst thing we had to deal with at this point was she was watching some lady on YouTube that would talk with a weird accent on purpose and just mispronounce certain words on purpose.
Yeah.
And so then Sadie started mimicking that.
Oh yeah.
So we nipped that in the bud.
Yeah, just for speech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, yeah. So that's not bad if that's the worst thing we had to deal with so far. But as she gets older in this technology, I'm not looking forward. And then I'm a tech guy, and I'm not looking forward to that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're right. You're a tech guy, so you have a huge advantage over the average person.
Right.
But you turn me towards Bark, or somebody turned me towards Bark. So I used Bark for a long time.
Yeah, and that's actually, we're gonna talk about that after the tips.
Yeah. Beat you to the punch, Joe.
Yeah, I
Bam!
know. You're on top of it.
Ahead of the
So
game.
you check the installed apps, and here's where it gets a little tricky. Of course, most parents know about Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, stuff like that. But there are a lot of hidden chat or texting apps that a lot of parents aren't aware of. So if you look on your kid's phone and they have like 3 different calculator apps on their phone, do some homework
one
on
of
those.
them's a fake.
Yeah, because at least one of those is a fake. Because a lot of these apps will disguise themselves as like a calculator or something that you don't really that throws up any red flags. And you open the app and it looks like a calculator, but then if they type in a certain code, whoop, it flips it to an actual texting app. And that's what a lot of the kids do. They use those types of apps to fly under the radar. It's like, yeah, my parents watch all my text messages, but they don't know about this one.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's with Bark, and I know I'm getting ahead of the game here,
Right.
but any adaptation to the phone, Bark catches.
Yes.
So anytime they want to download an app or anything like it all comes through Bark.
Right. Well, even
It's a pain to set up on the front end of it,
Yes.
but man, what you do.
yeah. Well, even I know at least on the iPhone side that there are parental controls built into the phones where if you give your kids a phone, you have to anytime they try to download an app, it sends you a notification and you have to authorize it before it'll even install as
Yeah.
well.
So just a quick best apps for secret texting: Telegram, Viber, Silence, WhatsApp, Wire, Dust, Cover Me, Cipher, Threema, Line, Final Verdict. Any of those on your radar, Joe?
Oh, yeah, I've heard of
You know
several
all
of them.
Okay, yeah.
Well, no, I don't
you're
know
a
all
tech
of them,
guy.
but-
I've never heard of any of those,
Well, I've heard of several of them.
but I'm not. I've heard of WhatsApp. WhatsApp is
Yeah, it's a Facebook deal.
a lot of teens use it.
Yes.
A lot of. Anyway, okay, sorry. Go ahead.
So that's tip number 1.
Good job, Justin.
Tip number 2, limit screen time. And this is a biggie because I know that the kids are on the screens all the time for schoolwork and all that, but if it's not school related at this point, limit them. I mean, these devices are not babysitters. These are not digital babysitters. And that's what I see a lot of people doing with them. And from my standpoint, what I see a lot of is the device goes down, so they bring it to us to fix it. My kid has to have it for school. Yeah, we need it for school. It's like, but they don't use that for school.
Oh yeah.
It's because that's the kid's babysitter.
Yeah, well, that's when I coached soccer. We always had that. I didn't let them use any social media during practice, on the buses, or during games.
Right.
Actually, I didn't let them use their phone at all.
Right.
But parents are like, they might need to contact me. I was like, I have all your contact information.
Yeah.
If anything happens, your child can come to me at any point and say, I need to talk to my mom or dad about whatever. And
Right.
I said, I'll message you on.
Right.
Yep.
So it's pretty easy to do because I made everybody use an app. You know, you had to have the app.
Right.
We used, I don't know, one of the team apps. Team app, I think, is actually the name of it. But anyway, I feel like parents were totally unreasonable about that. And I know this is controversial, but unreasonable about why their child had to have a phone
Right.
with them at all times.
Right.
And I'm like, they do not need it during practice.
No.
There's 2 coaches here. We both have phones. We're on school property. If something happens, you'll be notified very fast.
Right.
You know. But I was just like, this is ridiculous. And they're like, why can't they have it in the locker room? You know, get their phones out in the locker. I was like, because they'll take pictures of each other. Your child might be on the negative end of that, so therefore our policy is no.
Yeah, that's a whole.
Or the bus or anything else. I'm like, that's just no. We're playing soccer. They don't need that.
Yeah, that's a whole safety
Yeah.
issue. Yeah.
But parents were adamant. They need to be able to get a hold of me. And I was like, for what?
Yeah.
If they get car sick, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
If they forget something, believe me, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised about some of these parents' reactions to that. I mean, that from the whole locker room standpoint, that immediate red flag with me, that creeps me out to no end.
Well, and middle schoolers can be very cruel to each other.
Absolutely. Well, and that's
so I nipped that in the bud as a coach right away and just
Yeah.
said we will not be doing social media during practice time or game time.
yeah, that's just. I'll just.
Yeah. So anyway, very important
We'll-
stuff. And I
we'll
agree with you,
discuss
Joe.
further. Yeah.
Limit your screen time, especially during sports activities, study time. It's crazy. So if you really want to blow your mind, if you own a teenager, check their screen time. All the phones have apps that tell you how much screen time they've had.
Yeah,
and
a
how
lot of
many
them are built into the phones.
Yeah, and how many times they check their phone. And
Yeah.
after watching The Social Dilemma, I've been like, man, this is crazy. So I check my kids, once a week, every couple weeks at least. Hey, tell me how much screen time you have, show it to me. And they'll show it to me and be like, all right, you're up higher, your average is higher, lower, whatever. If it's lower, good job. If it's higher, hey, you need to cut it back.
Yeah.
And Dave, you don't use an actual app to limit screen time. You just say, hey, it's time to put the
Yeah, I
phones
just
up.
check it occasionally. I mean, we have
'Cause they
rules.
have the apps that
Yeah,
will actually shut the phone down after a certain
Yes.
amount of time.
yeah, but they can turn them on and off unless you go through and do parental controls of the password and all that.
Well, and Dave, your kids are to the age now.
Yeah, they're
where-
high schoolers. So
Yeah.
it's hard because we talked about that, and it's hard because like they go spend a night at someone's house, their phone turns off, and then I need to get hold of them or whatever. Then you're kind of in a hole there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's easier for
Some
me
people-
to just check it randomly and just see how much screen time they're putting in.
Some people do it to themselves because they can't help themselves, so they
Oh yeah.
have to install an app to that'll not allow them to use their phone after
Well, that's,
Right.
a certain time.
not having a TV and all that, I actually have like I don't even know what it's called, but I can look here real quick. So I use on my phone. You go into clock, and it has like a nighttime, daytime setting.
Yeah.
So mine's set at 10:30 and 5:30. So I get a do not disturb during that time,
Yes.
and I use it. So kind of self-police myself, I guess.
Right.
But
So that no notifications will come in after 10:30.
yeah, and I don't know what it tells whoever tries to notify me.
Well, it'll come in. It just won't ding. You won't hear the audible ding
Okay.
because you can actually.
I have my sound turned off anyway.
Because you can actually modify it to say, okay, if someone calls me that's in my contact list, go ahead and let it ring.
Mm-hmm.
Or because I have mine set up with, if the phone rings, or I get a text message from someone on my contact list, or if my security cameras go off, let me know.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't want to hear it.
Well, it's interesting because my phone actually goes dark. Like
Okay.
It lets at 10:30. It'll like if I'm on my phone at 10:30.
Yeah.
It'll go dark into nighttime or whatever.
Yeah, night mode. Yeah, mine. Yeah, I have mine do that as well at night. Yeah,
Yeah. So it lets me know it's time to get off the phone.
yeah. And I'm sitting there going, hey, my screen went dark.
Yeah. That's how I was like, time out. I'm just doing something. I was texting somebody.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But
Yeah.
my phone is telling me go to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had enough.
Yeah, because just the brightness of the screen, seems like it's good evidence that can mess with your
Oh yeah, the blue light,
the blue light, yeah.
filter.
So,
Yeah.
College athletes, the programs were providing them with the blue light filter glasses for a long time because it kept them up at night. Causes the light from your cell phone turns your brain into saying it's time to wake up. So yeah, bad stuff. So anyway, Joe's got himself off TikTok, so he's going to the good side. All right. Anyway, so sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
Okay, so
Good job, Justin.
tip number 3 is monitor online activities. So just one of those, and like I said, once we get done talking, we've got one more after this. Monitor, keep an eye on what your kids are viewing online, what they're searching for online.
Yeah.
It's crazy on what teens are doing online.
And it doesn't even have to be a teen. So I had a parent of a 8-year-old
Mm-hmm.
that was asking me, he's like, hey, they got questions about,
this, that, or the other.
Yeah, where do you think that's coming from? And my first response was, and they asked me because they're like, hey, you got kids. Do you ever have this? And they're like, you work with a lot of kids. Have you heard anything about this? And I'm like, yeah, first thing you do is check your phone.
Yeah.
Check their phone, check their iPad, check whatever thing they're using to get online. Because here's what I will say. Kindles that get online to download books and stuff, you can go in, and we found this out with one of my kids. They search something and something inappropriate come up, and they're like, what happened? And they misspelled a word.
So it was an honest mistake.
Yeah, it was an honest mistake, and they were little, but, the Kindle, you could, if you didn't know what a word was, will let you look it up. So it'll connect to your Wi-Fi, just as if you're downloading a book.
Right.
And we never knew it had this feature until this happened. And we're like, what in the heck? But, it'll actually go online and then send you back definitions, and we'll filter in inappropriate content. Never even thought about it. I was like, it's a Kindle.
Yeah.
You're reading books. But
yeah, you think it's pretty safe.
Yeah, but it had that deal where you could look up definitions of whatever word is in that text.
Yeah, and see, that's something I would have never even hit my radar.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, even though you may think that, whatever device they're using is safe, and I tell them my Kindle story, and like, ooh, I'm like, yeah, we never suspected, but they came to us and said, this is weird, what's this about? And I was like, yep, never mind. And so we had to take it to where it couldn't connect to Wi-Fi unless we passworded them in.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy. I mean, it's a Kindle e-reader, but
yeah, you wouldn't.
So you'd
think
never think that. So
yeah.
That's a story I told the parent. I was like, hey, they're 8. If they're having these questions, they saw it somewhere, and so check their device first.
Right.
Then work your way out to friends or family that they talk to. Maybe they ever heard a conversation. Whatever.
Right.
I was like, then you just got to have an honest conversation with them.
Yeah. It's crazy to think that we live in a world that we have to have these conversations, because when the 3 of us was growing up, you never had these. I mean, I think Justin and I, we was right on the cusp of like AOL Instant Messenger, so you had to watch who you was talking to on there.
Oh yeah.
But
online predators is a big thing.
Yeah.
Cyber safety is huge.
But we was like in middle school. We was like 12, 13 when that all started. So that was that. You was just starting to have those conversations. Then now it's like, it's just common. You have to have that conversation.
Yeah, you have to, and you have to be prepared. I mean, the schools now are doing, I'd say, developmentally appropriate conversations as a whole now.
Yeah.
When in middle school.
Yeah.
5th, 6th, 7th grade. And you can opt your child out of those, of course. Our school system does a really good job of it. But, it's just one of those things where I was like, man, it's no longer just health class where you kind of get the birds and bees talk. Now they do a whole school-wide thing about cyber safety.
Yeah.
It's the whole safety talk. About this is what you need to know.
Yeah.
But anyway,
crazy.
You're welcome, Joe. I'm through it. You're getting ready to go into it.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it.
Joe, would you say monitor their online activity with some sort of app that'll give you notifications when they go on something, or
and
or
that
actually take their phone and look through it physically?
Either.
I would do both.
Yes.
Because there's always ways around something.
Right.
And you never know.
And so the last tip is monitor their communication. See who they're talking to. See what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, a kid will lie to you.
Oh. Well, and sometimes what I found is maybe they don't realize it's that bad.
Yeah.
Like I had one of mine that stayed up till 6 in the morning. And it was summertime or whatever, but I was like, no, and they didn't want to get up at 8. Whatever we were doing that day, the get up time was 8 a.m. And of course they got up, but they looked like trash. They were just dark circles, tired, yawning. I was like, what the heck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
I was like, let me see your phone. So I looked at your phone, and sure enough, they'd been up till 6 in the morning, goofing off.
Yeah.
And I was like, you just stayed up all night, and we have stuff to do today.
Yeah, this is your problem.
Inappropriate.
Yeah.
And so had to have a whole conversation about now your phones go on a shelf, get plugged in at night, and that's where they stay until you wake up in the morning.
Right. So, and
And I do that to myself, by the way. I don't just police my children. My phone gets put up.
right.
10:30 it goes into silent or whatever the nighttime.
Yeah,
mode
night
is.
mode. And what's crazy
I sleep better.
is a lot of parents are kind of oblivious to a lot of this. I mean, as far as the communication goes, case in point, I had a parent come to me a few years ago. They had a foster child who had a rough upbringing and blah blah blah, and uh, their foster child was trying to set themselves up in a really bad situation. So the parent came to me and said, "Look, my kid's doing this. See what you can find, what they've been doing online." I said, "Okay, no problem." So first thing I went and did, I changed all the passwords. I was like, "No, the kid's not going to go behind me, delete everything, and cover their tracks." So I did all that, and in my research, I was able to pull up their entire search history, which they was searching for some real inappropriate content for their age, and also found that the kid had created 2 or 3 additional email accounts that the parent was completely oblivious of. And I just found that out because I found conversations they'd had with their friends, and their friends said, "Hey, why are you using this account? I thought you had another account." So when I took it back to the parent, I said, "Okay, here's the search history. Here's the email account you know about, and here's the 2 you don't know about." And they go, "What?" I said, "Oh yeah." I said, "They had 2 more email accounts you had no idea about."
And the kid's sitting there saying, "Technology guy."
Yeah.
Daggone it. Who's this Joe guy?
Yeah, so I was talking to some other friends of ours, and because it was a mutual friend of ours, and she goes back and tells her about it, and that friend comes back to me and goes, "Don't you ever do anything like that to me." I was like, "Unless there's a reason to. I don't. You're much older than I am. There's literally no need unless you're involved in some kind of legal issue that I won't need to be spying on your." She said, "I couldn't believe it. You pulled all that information up." I said, "It's not hard. I mean, from my standpoint, it's not hard. Now, the average parent, yeah, it's a nightmare because you're just constantly playing whack-a-mole.
Yeah.
But I was just, this is my job, so wasn't hard pickings for me. But
Seems like there could be a little bit of a fine line you gotta toe in terms of like you don't want to monitor every single text your kid ever sends. Trust them a little bit, give them some.
You're leading Joe right to bark.
But
yes,
yeah, just to check in from time to time, kind of sample, see what's going on, just to. But then again, you could totally miss something if you're not giving it as much attention as you need to.
right. Well, Justin, you bring up an excellent point, and Dave's absolutely right. You bring me right into the solution.
Okay.
So one of the solutions is a program called Bark, and Dave, I sent you a message with our link. We have a link with A&M Digital Technologies has a partner agreement with Bark. If you use our link, which Dave will put in the show notes, if you use that link, you get a free 7-day trial of Bark. And what Bark does is it helps monitor your kids online and helps make your job a little bit easier. So what they do is it monitors all their social media, all their text messages, all their browsing history, and what it does is instead of you having to play helicopter parent and stand over the kid's shoulder the entire time that they are online, Bark does that for you and then notifies you and saying, "Hey, your kid tried to look up this," or "Hey, your kid sent text message with this trigger word in it." So then you can look at it and go, "Okay, it's a false positive," or
Well, it happens. 'Cause,
yeah,
like if you get the word like "kill," for instance, they might be talking to their friends about, well,
your practice
we-
day is killing me.
yeah, or we had to go kill a snake.
Yeah.
But still, it kicks off that word and sends it to you. And I've used, Joe, you turned me to this, I believe, and I used it, and it's really good. I was really super happy with it. I don't use it now because my kids are old enough to police themselves. But,
Right.
But back when they were middle school and got their first phones and stuff.
Yeah, because I've had several parents come up to me and go, "Hey, I'm giving my kid a smartphone. This is their first smartphone. What do I need?" And right here. So, like I said, we're going to have the link in the show notes. You can sign up with a free 7-day trial of Bark. If you decide to use that, it's a $99 a year for the Bark Premium or $49 a year annually for Bark Junior. And there's bells and whistles with both, but it actually helps you do the job of monitoring your kids online without having to actually stand over the kid's shoulder at all times. So it does many of the features like it helps limit screen time. You can actually put on there at 11 o'clock, the kid's device goes off. It refuses to connect to the internet. And I've actually seen this work because I set it up for a parent several months ago. We talked to them the next week, and they go, I'm getting all these notifications from the kid's phone. What was this? And the kid was trying to override the system, and it just kept pinging. It's like, hey, because we had set up, because the kids were older.
Yep.
At like 10 or 11 o'clock, the internet would shut off. And 11:02, 11:02, 11:02, 11:03, 11:03, 11:03. It was like 2 minutes right after the internet shut off that first night. The kids was trying to override the system.
Yeah. Trying to find a gap.
Yeah, and Bark was going, hey, your kid's in there fooling around with this, trying to shut me off.
Yeah.
So it limits screen time, monitors online activities, monitors communication, and always looks for trigger words to give you a heads up. And like I said, most of the time it may be a false positive, but I'd much rather have 1,000 false positives than miss one real issue.
Yeah. And the kind of like secret messaging apps we talked about, will it keep an eye on that, or it would just prevent you from ever installing?
Well, that's where
a calculator messaging thing.
That's where if you use like the iPhone, I know that they have like a family protection. If you use that on top of Bark, that'll help you monitor what apps the kids are installing.
Yeah, Bark's really good. It's a huge pain to start.
Yes.
So I would say if you have a younger child and you're getting them their first phone, do this right off the bat.
Yes.
You won't regret it. It's expensive. It's like, $100 a year or something.
Yeah, $100 a year for the top tier, and then the medium tier is only $49 a year.
But I mean, for $100 a year, you're really getting your money's worth, in my opinion.
Yeah, because I'm going to name some of the apps. The iPhone Messenger, the Android Messenger, Google Chrome, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tick-Tock, Spotify, Pinterest, WhatsApp, Discord, Reddit. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But just to give you an idea of what apps they cover, and it's amazing. Like, let me see. Crime Stoppers is a huge supporter of it. The National Police Foundation is a huge supporter of it. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children is a huge partner with Bark. I mean, all these great organizations stand in partnership with Bark, so Bark must be doing something right to get these great child protected organizations to stand behind them and say, hey, we recommend this app.
Yeah, that's it. Like I say, I really endorse it. I like it, and I put the link in the comments that you can get through A&M Digital Technologies as an affiliate. So I would encourage any parent, first phone, middle schooler especially, get it. It's a real pain to try to work backwards, but it's well worth it because you got to go through and get their email, get their passwords, and then Bark gets approved on those. And every app that's on their phone, you have to go through and log on Bark. So it's tedious.
But it's well
you only
worth
do it once, though.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what was funny is that parent, when I set their kid's phone up, when I went back at next week, and it had all those pings where it was trying to shut it off, I said, your kid was doing something. They was trying to override the system. So the parent just asked me, said, hey, so here I am standing in the middle of this. It's like, I'm like the bad guy in the whole situation. Like, this jerk is messing with my stuff.
Ratting me out.
Yeah. So the parent just asked the kids, like, what's the deal? And the kid goes, well, YouTube wasn't working. I said, it should be working. I said, that there's no reason why it wouldn't be working. I said, are you signed in? Well, I don't know. I said, sign in. So they signed in with Bark, and it all of a sudden started working. And I said, well, it's working now. Oh, never mind, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like,
let's not have this conversation.
Yeah, because what it was Bark was doing its job, and they wasn't liking it. So they said, well, I was turned off because it wouldn't let me watch YouTube, and I just pulled up YouTube, and I just clicked the video, and the video played, and I was like, I thought you said it wasn't working.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all right.
Yeah.
Like, yep.
Nice try.
Yeah.
Nice
Go
try.
back to the drawing board and catch me again.
Yep.
All the joys of having a technology guy involved.
Yeah, I'm every parent's favorite person. I'm every kid's nightmare.
Well, yeah, I was just at a Spencer / elementary school yesterday for patch, and yeah, just one of those things where a kid was on the smoothie bike making a smoothie, and they're like, "Oh, my phone's about to fall out of my pocket," and it's just kind of hit me like, when I was a kid, I was never riding a bike worried about my cell phone, my smartphone falling out of my pocket, because that was not something we had growing up. You know?
Yeah. Even at the elementary school, I mean that's crazy.
He was probably middle school age, but yeah, still.
But still,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I mean, they wasn't going on a trip. I mean, the only reason they was at the middle school is I guarantee their parent or a guardian brought them.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I guarantee that guardian wasn't too far away.
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah, but phones for kids are second nature now.
Right.
Crazy.
And it's really weird. Like, I remember how valuable phones were. And now they're not. Think about that one. I mean, I remember the days 10 years ago when you paid, $500-600 for your phone. You're like, oh, I can't afford to drop this. I'm only going to put it somewhere where it's safe.
Yeah.
Now kids run around with their phones everywhere, and they drop them, kick them, throw them around in their bags.
Yeah.
Katie Bart, like, Justin's saying, a kid sitting there, my phone's going to fall in my pocket. Yeah, it's just $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
No big deal.
Yeah.
So,
I
I
almost
mean-
have heart failure when I hear those stories. It's
Oh,
like,
it's kind of crazy.
well, when I've seen them come through the shop, like the whole screen's busted. What happened?
Yep.
Yeah, my kid wasn't paying attention. They had in their sweatshirt pocket. They threw their sweatshirt in gym class to go
Mhm.
set it down and forgot their phones in there and just ate the screen up. I was like,
yeah. Yep.
That's a brand new phone. It's like, and
Yeah.
that screen's like $350, and
Yeah.
they're going, yeesh. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's crazy, and I had my daughter set her phone down somewhere. I don't know, we were at soccer, and she just set it down and walked away to go do whatever. And I was like, hey, you're leaving, $1,000 iPhone sitting here.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah.
Oh, well, nobody's gonna take it. And I'm like, you don't know that somebody, we're in a crowd at soccer. Anybody could walk by and just kind of swoop down, grab your phone, keep on going, and nobody'd notice.
Yeah.
But they don't think about them as being $1,000 because they don't pay for them. But and B, it's just everybody has them now, so it's second nature.
Right. Yeah, so what? Yeah, everybody has one, so why would they want to steal mine?
Yeah. It's
like-
kind of crazy, but all right. Well, if anybody needs to get a hold of you for any of this, and I highly recommend they get a hold of you and do the bark deal if you have a kid and you're getting a phone or your child needs this and you're worried about it. Most definitely. How do they get a hold of you, Joe?
You give us a call at our office at 304-927-3588. Check out our website at amdigitaltechnologies.com or follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at AM Digital Tech for all that. And be sure to subscribe to the podcast, Help Desk with Joe and Dave. We are hosted on all of the major platforms, and our podcasts are hosted by Anchor.fm.
Okay. All right. Well, Help Desk with Joe, show number 75. So our next little milestone for myself, anyway, will be at show 100.
I was going to say, what, 76?
Yeah. Well, always happy to have these shows, and we've been plugging right along. But yeah, knocking them down, 100 shows seems pretty cool. And so we'll work our way towards that magic. So make sure you tune in for all our shows. So for myself, Joe, and Justin here at the Patch Studio in Spencer, West Virginia, make sure you support local businesses. A&M Digital Technologies does all our heavy lifting behind the scenes, technology-wise. And again, all important, news updates, and tip of the week is a big one with school starting today here in Roane County. Protect your children. Call Joe, get some help with bark. Get that on your kid's phone and protect them, protect yourself. It's pretty heavy message there, Joe. So appreciate you bringing that to us.
Appreciate it.
All right, so for myself, Joe, and Justin, we're out of here, and we'll be back for more next week. Help Desk with Joe.